Hey, what's up, Sooner Nation? What's up, Billy, Dalpois, Crystal, everyone that's in here? Listen, before we even get to what we're going to talk about, which no telling tonight, there's tons to talk about. I've already about lost my voice, but uh, a sad day in the history of college football because Florida State got absolutely screwed. There's no reason that Florida State should have been left out. If anyone's going to be left out, it's Bama or Texas.
It can't be
But
Texas. Can't be Texas.
obviously, what happened was a team that was basically rewarded for cheating because it was all clear they cheated is the number one team in the country, and a team that played the right way, did everything they needed to with a third string quarterback, gets left out of the whole thing. It's mind boggling what happened today, and then on top of that, OU gets left out of when you think they might get sneak in the New Year's Six, they don't. That's their own fault. I agree that they got to take care of business, but the explanations from the committee today was absurd. The explanation from whatever his name is, Boo Kerrigan. Boo Kerrigan.
Hey, Jeremy.
Texas has a great shot at winning the Natty, Jay. I think they might. They might win the whole thing.
I said that the other day, and you laughed at me.
Washington is not
Why
great,
did you laugh at me? Why did you laugh at me?
Because I didn't think they'd get in it, Jay.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Hey, does anyone in this chat think that Florida State does not deserve to be in it? I'm just curious. And Jordan Travis, it's sad, guys. You know, you have a horrible knee injury, and they're using the knee injury as the reason they didn't make it. It's beyond. I can't. My mind. I thought the NCAA might be able to get better. It's worse than it's ever been.
Matt, you were right about the Alamo Bowl, but you did say there's no way you didn't think Texas was getting in. They're the number 3 seed. So,
hey Matt, FSU beat exactly who? As many ranked top 20 teams as Bama. So you might want to check the stats on that one because they actually did with a third string quarterback.
To me, what it should have been was Michigan, Washington, Florida State, Texas. Texas beat Alabama, but they're not going to leave the SEC out. That's what it should have been.
Michael, I agree, and I don't recognize your name. So if you're new tonight, thanks for joining us here on the Sooner Surge Double Trouble. FSU's, I mean, they didn't. For the fact of the matter is, you can only compare teams when they are comparable, one-loss teams. If you're a no-loss team, you don't even be compared to the one-loss teams, guys. You already been discarded. You're in the playoff.
And this is, I want to talk about this. I talked about this
earlier. Matt was asking who they did beat. So they beat LSU when they were ranked number 5, okay? They beat LSU. They beat Clemson. They beat Louisville. They beat North Carolina, right?
Yeah, that should be enough. Hey, Jeremy, here's my thing. If the committee didn't like him because of the backup quarterback, why were they ranked 4 going into the weekend? Exactly. Travis has been out 2 weeks. So – and if that's the case, why isn't Jordan Travis Heisman winner? If he's their whole team, why is he not the Heisman winner?
True. And Crystal, you're right. They did beat Duke. Correct?
Quentin, you just named 2 forced-loss teams, but what about Alabama? I mean,
they beat Georgia. Quentin, how many?
I know.
Hey, Quentin, Texas beat Bama. That's the only one-loss team that they beat.
And Mark's right. If the name's Clemson on the side of the helmet, they're in.
I've already said it's exactly right. And FSU, I'm not a Florida State fan at all. It's just a travesty.
I couldn't tell the last 2 days you've been unbelievable.
Jay, I just hate it because what about Ole Miss?
They beat Ole Miss. Ole Miss hasn't beaten anybody though.
Who beat Ole Miss?
Alabama.
Okay. Hey, yeah, exactly. You better have a good backup quarterback, and if your guy gets hurt, you have no chance anymore. HIPAA needs to come out and do something. I don't know.
You're ridiculous, dude. I'm sorry. What I've dealt with the last 2 days with you on this Florida State deal, it's unbelievable. And the sad thing is, I agree. I'm the one and ask Mark and everybody that was on the live with me last night. I said Florida State should be in. But you're taking it to a whole nother level of nauseous. It's just
someone brought up Kenyon Martin, Jay. Someone brought up Kenyon Martin in basketball when they lost. You remember?
Claire,
Well,
who did you beat by 2 touchdowns?
Just a second, Jay. Just a second. The difference in whoever said that is Cincinnati still got a chance to play in it. Florida State doesn't get a chance. They don't even get the chance to do it. That's my problem.
Hey, here's the thing. Florida State should be in over Bama. But if I had to pick it, I would think Bama.
Or Texas.
They should not be in over. The fourth team
Bama's,
should
be Bama's not the same team, Jay.
Jeremy, you're a moron.
Okay.
Oh, you're dumb. It's one loss each, and they beat them. I don't understand you at all.
I just don't think
Bama. How can you sit here and say that?
I'm going to explain my reasoning.
Explain your reasoning.
I don't think Bama's the same team they were in week 2, and they just beat the number 1 team who had won 2 straight years.
Okay, they're not the same team as they were in week 2. Are they the same team as they were in the last week of the season when they should have lost to Auburn?
Absolutely should have lost that game. And yeah, I agree.
So is that the same team?
I agree with that comment.
Then how can you not put Texas in over Bama?
Either way, it doesn't matter. Florida State shouldn't have been on the chopping block. That's my only point. And it's just sad, guys.
They 100% picked 2 SEC and 2 Big Ten teams.
Yeah, that's what they did because the powers that be, Jay, know what the future is.
Crystal's right. 100%, Crystal. They deserve to be in. They're not one of the 4 best teams.
No, I'll change it, Jay.
No,
they're probably not. They're probably not. You don't know that they aren't.
They're not.
You don't know that they aren't.
I watched the Louisville game. They didn't look that great.
I did too. Louisville averaged 30 points, and their quarterback has thrown for 300 yards 7 straight games. They got 6 points.
Their defense is
I'm telling you right now, if Florida State played Michigan tomorrow, it would probably be a single-digit game with the 3rd-string quarterback. It'd be 10-7. So
let me just say this: if Florida State rolls that same quarterback out there against Michigan, they get steamed.
They're not. It's not going to be the guy. It's going to be the backup.
Okay, I'm just saying, like
he's 6'4", 190. I don't know what he can do. Jeez, it is a business. It's an absolute business.
It is. You're right, Matt.
And it's a joke that the team that was proved to be cheating, nothing happens to them. And if people aren't in an uproar, I don't know what's wrong with people.
Who do you got winning the whole thing?
Texas will beat Washington.
I agree. I think it's Texas-Bama again.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm picking Texas versus Bama.
It's probably going to be a rematch, Texas versus Bama. And
I think Texas win the Natty.
Sooner fan. Hey,
I think
Sooner
they're winning
fan.
the Natty.
Sooner fan. I'm gonna go with Sooner fans comment here. So leave it up here, Hunter. Explain how the committee chair Boo, probably because he's scared to talk. Tell me how Boo can get on there and say, "Well, Liberty guys, Liberty didn't lose. SMU lost to a Power 5 school. Well, then why are you talking about Florida State not losing? Why is that not the same thing?"
Jeremy,
they talk out of both sides of their mouth. Whatever fits their narrative, Jay. Whatever fits their narrative.
It's obvious to me what they did. The committee spent so much time on the top 4. They didn't even really look at the New Year's Six or anything. I don't think they cared a lick about the rest of it. I think they were so involved with the 4 that's just what it was. I mean, I'm trying to catch up with some of these comments. Why do the good offenses go each other and the physical teams play each other? I agree. I didn't like the way they did the matchups, but what are you going to do? Put Washington at 1? I don't think they were going to do that. So I think that's the way it has to be. You can't put Texas at 4 behind Alabama.
Alabama's not the same team they were earlier.
Alabama would not be a 7 to 10 point favorite.
They'll be a favorite by 4 or 5.
They're number 4. Texas is 3.
What? Texas is 3 and Washington's 2. Who's the favorite?
I agree.
It came out today. Texas is a 4.5 point favorite against Washington. Stop it, Jay.
And what is Georgia against? What is Georgia against Florida State, Jeremy?
Who?
14-point favorite.
Jason, Georgia would be favored over 3 of the 4 playoff teams.
Dude, you need to get checked, man.
Georgia. Hey, am I wrong, viewers? Would Georgia be the favorite? Yeah.
In what? Against who? Against who?
Any of the 4 except for one.
I don't know if they would be, Jeremy. Maybe Washington.
Matt says yes. Yes. Lone Wolf says yes. Georgia, you look, we're going to wrap this up so we can talk OU here in a second. But, Jay, here's what I'll say. Did the committee get it right? We won't know. We won't know if they got it right. They didn't pick who deserved it, obviously.
You'll never know every year.
Wait, Jace. You always get on me for interrupting.
It's a bunch.
You always get on to Reed. You always get on to me for interrupting, Jay. Did they get it right? We'll never know. Did they get the most deserving? Obviously not. But I will say this, as far as Georgia, you cannot say they got the 4 best teams in it if you're leaving Georgia out. Can't.
Jeremy, you told me all year Georgia hasn't played anybody.
Doesn't matter.
So now you're all of a sudden changing and think
they're one of the 4 best teams.
Who would you put them in over?
Any of the 4, probably.
Alabama just beat them.
Barely.
They beat them. So you're saying wins and losses don't matter anymore. Okay.
That's what they said, Jay. The committee said that.
That's what you're saying.
I'm saying what the committee said.
You're saying wins and losses don't matter.
I'm not so sure Georgia dog walks FSU.
They would. They would.
Nice one, Hunter. Big one there, buddy. Nice comment. Yeah, 3rd string quarterback. Woo. And Georgia might not score 20 points.
Hey, Georgia, to me, had their chance. They lost. I know they're a really good team. I don't argue that. They're a good team, but they don't deserve to be in.
Obviously, and Sooner fan says Georgia's he's got Georgia in over Texas. So as far as
the problem is the committee rankings throughout the year. When Florida State lost their quarterback, why didn't they just go ahead and drop them if they didn't think they were that good? Why did they leave them at 4? That's what I don't get.
Hey, Clara, your argument about we were up, you can't use that because Auburn could say the same thing against Bama, but whatever. Hey, Jay, yeah, if Major League Baseball or any other sport was decided this way, it's just an absurdity if this is the way college football is. I hate to say it, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, to me, conference champion, they're finally doing it with the 12 teams, so we won't have to deal with this crap anymore. But you won both games. What is Claire talking about here?
Auburn.
Yeah, I mean, they won the game. Yeah, he did have a nasty injury. And his thing,
it's being talked about as a reason someone's out of a playoff. Yet, this is how backwards it is. The team that blatantly cheated and was called out for it is celebrated. I don't know why everyone is not in an uproar against the college football playoff right now.
I think most people are.
Oh, no. Bama, SEC, people love the playoff.
Jeremy, there's SEC bias. You know that.
Obviously, and Texas and OU are part in it now. But
what it comes down to is
money.
This. If money, and if they were to continue this scenario with 4 teams, all it is 13 guys, girls in a room basically watching a football team and say, they look like about an 8 out of 10. It's like gymnastics. It's opinionated judging. That's what it is when you say the eye test. The eye test and who you think are the best teams is an opinion. Jeremy, me, you, Hunter, probably if all these people on here, I bet we all have different opinions who the 4 best teams are. Am I wrong?
Because you can't prove it, Jay.
That's right. And that's what they did in a room is 13
So don't
people
tell me who the best 4 teams are then.
13 people. And Clark's right. There isn't a right answer.
I think there is a right answer, Clark.
No, somebody was getting screwed. Bama, Texas, or Florida State. One of them's getting screwed. Am I wrong?
Yeah, someone was going to get. But, Jay, the one that should have gotten screwed was the ones that lost football games.
I agree with Mark. Stream the committee meetings. Stream them. Let's see what they have to say about it.
Tanya, thanks for cheering me up there with the super. Listen, it is what they want, Brian, banging our heads against the brick wall. But, hey, I just don't understand how anyone can be happy if you have any morals at all based on what's been done this year. If you have any morals, you can't be happy.
Because of Florida State getting left out?
Florida State being left out, doing everything they're supposed to do, and a blatant cheating team, nothing happened.
Yeah. And that's right. The team that makes the least amount of money and would have the least backlash, it was going to be Florida State.
I think that's why, and Hunter's been asking me today, just drop it. Why are you so been out of shape about this? Because of how wrong it is morally and how you can do this and stand for it and act like it's right. That's the problem I have. I don't have a dog. I don't have a dog in the fight.
But you're saying morally it wouldn't have been wrong to put Alabama in over Texas?
That's not a moral issue. I'm talking about the cheating.
Oh,
I'm talking about cheating and punishing a team because the guy got injured, Jay. That's morals. That's ethically wrong. Talking about who a better football team is not ethically wrong. I'm talking about the two ethical wrongs that were done. That's why I'm so mad.
They didn't pick Florida State because of, like Hunter said, they wanted good matchups. That's what it comes down to.
And what's funny, Mike, you're absolutely right. OU got, I guess, punished for beating Texas. Texas doesn't get punished for losing to OU, though. Like
OU got punished because of their bad losses to two bad teams.
Jay, who's better?
Who they beat.
Jay, who's better? Penn State or OU?
OU should have got in over Penn State. I agree. It's no doubt about it, Jeremy. But
thank you. Hey, someone said 100%. Coconut Greg says 100% ethically wrong. If you can't say it's 100% ethically wrong, then I'm sorry.
And they're right on this. Like, why not drop them earlier? That's my thing, too. Why did they wait?
That's the other problem.
Why? I'll tell you why they waited. They thought Georgia was going to win. They thought Georgia was going to beat Alabama. That's what happened. That's why they waited, because they thought Georgia was going to win.
I may need it. I've already told the guys I may have to take a break from Sooner Surge. I'm just getting stressed out.
You need to get off it, dude. Get off it, dude.
Hey,
that means nothing. OU's not even in it, so why does it matter?
Hey, let's talk about OU right now. I heard people earlier, and look, I probably don't need to call it out earlier, Jay, but about how there's so much to play for. I agree, there is. There is a lot to play for. But don't act like it's okay that they lost those two games. They lost the two bad football
teams. There's a lot to play for because you got a lot of youngsters that are playing and you get a lot more practice. Agreed. But it is disappointing because of the two losses and you end up in the Alamo.
Hey, OU's going to get McClellan from Florida, don't you think?
I think that's a good one. Now, the guy from A&M that just entered, Walter Nolan, the dude was the number one recruit. The dude's 6'5", 300 pounds. He's going to get dropped a ton of money from somebody. And I wouldn't expect – I think he's going big time.
I think the matchup against Arizona, Jay, is an intriguing one for a couple of reasons. Arizona's offense is good. They have a great wide receiver. Their quarterback has been really just in on fire mode. And you have the Seth Luttrell to Arizona tie a few years ago. There's some intriguing things. It is the Alamo Bowl where Venables was announced as coach right before that or whatever. When he came on the scene, it is local. It is local, but if you're going to buy a ticket, don't sit up in the nosebleeds at that stadium.
And Lori, I'd like to know from Matt too. And I'm an OU fan just as much as anybody, maybe diehard more than anybody. But the pumpers that think everybody that hits the portal, OU's not getting everybody that hits the portal. I don't understand why everybody hits. I see everybody covered wagons. Do you like covered wagons? I get it. It's fun to do that on Twitter, but I think a lot of people legitimately think OU can get whoever they want. That's not the case. McClellan, he's an Oklahoma kid. I expect them to go get McClellan.
I think the OU-Arizona matchup is intriguing with the offenses for sure. OU's defense is going to be highly tested. Arizona's pumped to be there. CJ06 says, and thanks again for being a Sooner Surge Unlimited member, CJ06. They're pumped to be there. So, and I'm curious about, what Matt says. He says there's a lot of men have Oklahoma ties.
Well, I know, obviously McClellan with Owasso, he played at Owasso. I would expect OU to get McClellan.
I think that's one they get.
Now, I don't think – now, you talk about the A&M guy. They lost their coach. I get it. He went to Syracuse. There's going to be a lot of guys portal. We've already seen tonight 2 or 3, I think, have hit the portal. But you can't honestly think OU's going to get like 3 or 4 guys from A&M. I'd be shocked. Now, maybe
Hunter,
maybe.
Hunter, what is the limit OU has this year? If you can drop it in the chat. Hunter.
There isn't a limit.
There isn't a limit. It just depends on who leaves, though.
Does DG play in the bowl game, or does he need to play for draft status? I think he plays.
Well,
yes, Mike, I do. EPL sounds like
Beatenbow had a great home visit.
Yeah, sounds like OU's going to get him.
OU's got to be pumped, but Jay, the Arizona quarterback can run a little.
Yep.
He
Young
is a
guy,
dual
though.
threat.
Very young.
He's got a cannon, though. Definitely not an easy out, and it's going to be an exciting matchup. But I think you got to hear something from DG in the next few days. He has to say, in my opinion, he has to say what he's going to do.
I would agree.
I hope he moves on and we see Jackson Arnold.
Jimmy has their 85 scholarship players, but they can move some things around with the PWOs. And there's some things they can do.
Yeah, there's definitely some things they can do. I agree. Guys will get processed out, as Hunter said.
There will be some get processed out. I agree. How many, let's just talk about A&M for a second. You're going to have guys into the portal. I know the big name everybody wants to talk about for A&M would be if David Hicks, and there's Matt's talking about it. Dindy and Hicks, to me, are the two for A&M to look out for that OU can land. McClellan, I think they can get for sure from Florida. But if I'm talking about A&M, Hicks and Dindy are the ones I think the best relationships you would have would be. And that's what I would say.
Crystal, if we have a losing record next year, and Crystal, thanks so much, Crystal, again, for the super. It's
appreciate it.
It's super generous, and we really do appreciate you, Crystal. And in my opinion, he gets one more year because he's moving to the SEC. That's the only – if they're in the Big 12 and he had a losing record, he's gone.
They're not guys, OU's not having a losing record.
I agree. The question is if, Jay. See the first word? It's a conjunctive. Learn it, dude.
I'm not here for an English class, so you can do that tomorrow when you go to school. I'm not here for that.
He would not get fired after 1 year in the SEC. Now, after the second year, probably.
I think OU goes – I would pick OU right now 9-3 next year.
I agree. That's a possibility. Someone keeps saying Teddy Lehman, and on the breakdown, they're talking about OU getting a running back.
Well, they're saying I think they should go after a running back.
Hey, McClellan, Uncle Charlie, it's McClellan, and he plays defensive line, defensive tackle. Guy from Owasso, Oklahoma. Was he a 4-star, I think?
4-star.
Sure.
Jimmy says 7-5. Do losses matter more than wins? It did this year, it seems like. I mean, they really took in fact of who you lost to instead of who you won, who you beat. So, and that's the key thing too. Hunter's right. Chief, I mean, he's a big deal at OU, the defensive line trainer, and he trains with him. So that's a big deal. 405. He's
not at OU though.
He hit the portal. He announced it tonight. Portal opens tomorrow. He's going to be in it. So
Jay, he's not at OU, Chief.
Lori, I don't want Ollie Gordon.
No. Jay, Chief's not at OU.
He's a great running back. I don't want him.
Jason.
What?
Are you listening?
I hear you. He's not at OU, but he helps train the guys that.
Yeah, I mean, but you said OU, so I was just trying to clarify. You weren't.
Yeah, he's not on staff or anything. No.
Hey, it's funny that losses matter more unless you go undefeated. They don't matter because that doesn't matter if you don't go undefeated. It's just crazy. Ollie Gordon is a head case. He's always injured, as Sooner fan says, and I think he's a great running back. He's elite. I think he's going pro myself. I don't think he's going to transfer to anywhere else. And you're right. If you don't poo the bed, as someone said, Jason Murphy, if you don't poo the bed, you're in the New Year's Six. And actually, if you just have one lot, I mean, you have a chance of being in the whole thing.
Yeah. Hey, I got my first trivia for the night. Last night we started. T got 1 point last night. We're tallying points for the month of December. And so starting off with this one tonight. So be ready. Have your hands ready to type in fast, okay? Simply want to know for the trivia question. What was the score OU versus Oregon in the last Alamo Bowl at halftime? What was the halftime score? OU versus Oregon. Halftime score of the last Alamo Bowl. Drop it in the chat. First one to get it gets the point.
Did I miss Matt? Did he have his child?
I'm wondering. I saw some congrats thing. Matt, did you have your
baby?
About
to go. Good luck, Matt. Prayers.
Good luck, Matt. Praying for everything to go smoothly.
Healthy child and mother to do great, and prayers for you as you go there.
Don't see the score yet. There it is. Sooner fan with the point tonight. 30-3, OU was ahead at halftime. Good job, Sooner fan. Way to roll. You get a point. So got Teague with 1 point, Sooner fan with another one. We'll have one more trivia at the end of the show, so stay tuned. Yeah, good luck, Matt, on that. Portal,
Yeah,
man. Tomorrow it opens, and it's going to be wild.
Tomorrow's going to be a crazy day.
How many guys from OU are going to hit portal? Give me over or under 3 from that. From what?
Over.
Don't count the ones that are already in.
Over 3. Over every school is going to have over 3.
You think?
Yes. No one's patient enough these days, Jay. No one wants to wait out anything. Blake says 4.
Josh says over. Jason says
everyone's going to say over. If it's 3 or less, it's a miracle. And I don't know that you want it to be 3 or less.
I think a guy to keep an eye on too.
Tanya says over. Tanya says
a lot of people don't think OU will take a receiver, but Jaron Bradley's a guy I think they'll take.
We talked the other day, could he possibly play tight end? Jay, so I know you don't like to speculate who might leave at all, do you?
I don't. Why? Are you asking me?
I did see the Baylor tight end. He's like the number 9 guy in the nation in yards is in the portal.
And this is a good point by JT Rhodes. Appreciate you watching tonight, JT. Most in the portal are going to be forced or processed. So he says way over. They're going to process some guys. And Lori, that's a good way to put it. The guys that BB wants to stay will stay.
Possibly.
It's a good way to put it.
BB, yeah, I wouldn't want anyone who would not want to be there.
Evan Stewart's another one. He's going to be a money bag.
In my opinion, the only 2 receivers you probably even go after are Evan Stewart and Jared Bradley.
Yeah, those 2
for
guys.
Now, Grimes, Lawrence, Shelton, Ashton Sanders, Marcus Strong just to start. I think J.J. Hester probably likely to be in that group.
What about LB? Yeah, LB's on there.
Have you heard something from those, Matt?
Who opts out? Is it for the bowl game? Is this for the bowl game?
Yeah, I think John Doe is saying opts out for the bowl game. But if you remember BB's policy or what he talked about, didn't really opt out.
Mike wants the current DC to hit the portal. That would be Ted Roof, even though he doesn't call the plays.
Jason, that was tough to hear because, anytime you're trying to change culture, you're going to have that.
Where did you hear that?
I thought that was better right now. Guyton's opted out for sure.
Where did you hear that at?
Hear what?
About Stutzman saying that. Did he say that?
Yeah, Stutzman said it was on maybe his podcast, just saying people aren't bought. There's still some that aren't bought in, all in. You heard that.
I kind of agree with you there, Jason. I do find it weird, though. He's out on the recruiting trail pretty heavy right now. But maybe that's just.
Which kicker are we talking about, Jay?
What?
Which kicker is infidel? Talk about we're getting a more kicker. A guy from Oklahoma that's one of the best there is.
Yeah, Guyton's going to opt out. I agree. He was. That's what I'm saying. Sooner, sir. He was Hunter. He was at the games. That was very depressing. And Sooner fan, Mike Norvell just seems like a great dude. And I saw his statement too. It's just disappointing. They got screwed. Everybody knows they got screwed. But there's nothing you can do. I think everybody knew they were going to get screwed. I knew they were going to get screwed, didn't you?
It's podcast on the prairie. You're right. Yeah. Guyton's the only opt out that makes sense right now, but obviously DG could opt out.
I don't think DG's opting out because I think he's playing another year of college ball.
Maybe, but
appreciate that, Josh.
Josh says, and Josh, thanks again for the super. We don't take these for granted. We are very appreciative of these and just talk about how much we appreciate it. If we're in the same position as FSU, would they leave us out with the win over Texas? I would stop watching the sport. And you're right. You're right. OU fans would be going ballistic, even if it was a second or third string quarterback, if our defense was elite as Florida State. Jared Verse and some of these guys on the defensive side are top 5 to 10 picks, guys. They're legit.
I agree. And Thunder wants to know, who do you think OU could get from A&M? Like I said earlier, the names I would watch for, if they even hit the portal, who knows if they will, would be David Hicks and Dindy, just because of the relationships they had before. But I don't even know if they're going to hit the portal, guys. So
hey, Hunter was at the Carl Albert game in Dell City. Hunter, I know you're Hunter was highly impressed with Xavier Robinson yesterday.
Yeah, he looks really good, man. He really does. Yeah, Billy Bowman got screwed. I agree.
Billy Bowman's a guy he won't opt out of the bowl game because that doesn't fit his MO. He gone, though.
You think he's gone?
Yes, I do.
Really?
I do.
Because draft status would be higher?
Look, it's the same with DG, and DG could come back as far as money, I guess, but in my opinion, Billy Bowman's peaked. DG's peaked, Billy Bowman's peaked. They're not going to have a better season.
But there's something to be said about playing a year in the SEC in college.
Possibly.
It helps your draft status, I think. It means more, dude. It means more. I could see a guy from the secondary leaving, portaling.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say any names. I'm just saying I think I could see one from there probably leaving.
What do you think about what Murph says here? Dendy
said he would never come back to the way the fans killed him on Sunday. Yeah, and listen, it's every college team Twitter. I mean, fans are that way. Now, I do think OU gets a little outrageous, some of the fans, and just like I said earlier, some of the stuff with every time somebody hits the portal, it's like you got OU fans in the mention saying OU time. I mean,
Matt's saying that Key Lawrence is 100% gone. It sounds like
that would be a name to watch for.
I agree, it could be,
but
he's stuck around though. So maybe, I mean, the guy keeps playing. So why would you leave? You ain't getting drafted very high. Apparently, BB loves him because he plays over a lot of the young guys. Can I Walker, Jay? What do you think?
Can I Walker played quite a bit this year, so I don't know about that one. Yeah, that's another one. He plans to enter the portal, but I don't think OU would even – I don't know if they would even consider that because, he was committed to OU and then he took a visit to Oregon. I think they kind of maybe washed their hands of that. So, and Matt, I agree. Peyton Bowen should start. Peyton Bowen should have been starting this year. So, but he didn't. I know he was injured and banged up, but still. And this is where what you're seeing in the portal, what you're going to see tomorrow in the portal, is where the stat that came out last week when it talked about OU playing so many young guys, that's where it could help you. In the portals, you can say, hey, you've been sitting at this school for a year or 2 years. We play guys if you're good enough. We play a lot of guys. And I honestly think that's one of the reasons they threw that stat out there last week, OU football. Now they can talk about that.
Jay and Matt, Bowen should start over Key Lawrence, but loyalty has kind of been a problem.
Muted.
Who's muted?
I'm not sure.
I'm not right now. What do you think about
run after Raleek? I think they would. They would. Is Major going to come back? No.
Probably. Where's he going? Where would Marcus Major go, Jay?
Somewhere where he can play every down. Right?
Justin Harrington can come back. It's not for sure, though.
He can come back.
He's got to get a clearance.
Correct.
I think
he's going to get it. He's going to get it.
Thank you, Mike. Play Deshaun Moore. What do you mean he's going to get it? You said rumor. So rumors is he's hanging it up completely. Where have you guys heard that at?
Well,
no, I'm just asking. Jeremy, Matt says it and Jason, so I'm curious where they've heard it at.
He's been banged up a lot.
I agree. I'm not saying he should stay. I'm just saying, where are the rumors from?
That's a lot of people think retiring from football, Damon says. I don't think anything's official. That's just probably rumors they're hearing.
I think that's just maybe assumptions because he's had the shoulder injury a lot. I mean, people have mentioned forums. I don't know. I'm not subscribed to any forums.
Yep. So, I mean, but there's a lot of that out there.
People have mentioned forums on here before. I don't need to. I mean, I don't get on any of those, but yeah, I mean,
I agree with you, Matt. That would be a good assumption. I mean,
what do you mean? Don't hate on the players? Are we hating on the players? Dalpois, are you talking about? And look, Marcus Major, guys, this year, if you're not impressed with how he performed this year, I was highly impressed with Marcus Major. The guy just can't stay healthy.
he can't. That's
I think he's a great locker room leader guy. Heck,
and he's a hard runner. He's a very hard runner.
Maybe the hardest runner they have there in a long time. I mean,
he runs hard. He can't stay healthy.
Who's the local kid?
They're probably talking Major.
Oh, yeah, that's what Dow put. And I agree. I've defended Major probably till I'm blue in the face with some of these, even on the Sooner Surge, because they just, I mean, whatever. But I think Marcus Major impressed me this year. And he was probably the best blocker they had. And the fact of the matter is, OU lost 2 games, and he didn't play either one of them. Xavier Robinson will be fun to watch, honestly.
It'd be interesting.
I don't know that he plays next year.
How are they going to use him?
Fullback, maybe.
Because Hunter, you went and watched him. What would you think they're going to use him as? Not a true. I mean, are they going to use him as? Because if they use him as just a regular running back, how will he? I mean, getting on the field may be tough. They got some studs coming in. You got Tatum and.
Yeah, hey, Andy Bass.
Fullback too, Damon.
Andy Bass, that was awful.
That was awful, and he was lighting it up that game too.
He would be a great fullback option. Still could. And I'm interested to see the difference in what's going to happen once they start practicing with Seth Luttrell. What we're going to see different.
Well, that's why I'm most excited about the bowl game. I saw a lot of OU fans today on Twitter and stuff saying, "I'm not watching that bowl game against Arizona."
Just stop.
Why would you not watch it? Like
casuals.
It's going to be interesting to see how OU does with the new offensive coordinator and the play calling. I'm kind of excited to see it.
Hey, Jay, and part of my French, I won't say it then, but I could be ticked off at how OU played against 2 teams that they should have just drum rolled, just destroyed. I can be mad about that and still be excited for a bowl game, even though it's Alamo bowl game. But there's some fans that are like, nah, not going to watch it. Like, come on. I know Luttrell likes to use a fullback, Damon. I agree. I'm just curious, are they going to have anything in place by the Alamo Bowl?
Probably not.
Hey, Crystal, thanks again so much. Wow, Crystal. And look, I asked this question to all the Sooner Surge guys. Look, if any of them, Penix, Milroe, any of them had hurt their leg yesterday before the bowl game or at practice, they would have still been in it. 100%.
I agree. We all know Florida State got screwed. I mean,
listen, if you want to say why OU's not a 1-loss team in the Big 12 championship game or a New Year's Six or a chance at the playoff, you can blame penalties a whole heck of a lot more than you can blame Jeff Levy.
And turnovers.
Way more than you can blame Jeff Levy. OU fans always want to blame a scapegoat instead of just blaming what happens on the field. And they didn't play well, period.
Yeah, I want to see the play selection too. I agree. All right, Hunter, you were at the game, yeah.
Yeah, I agree, Lori. You got a new coordinator. People are going to watch it for sure.
What do you think about this comment about the NCAA tournament from Jet here?
I agree with that.
Here's the problem, guys.
No. Go ahead.
Let me talk. The problem is you have 4 teams. There's no wiggle room at all. That's the issue.
Jay, but here's what I would say to Jet, and thanks for the comment, Jet, and everyone, thanks for being on here right now. We're going to keep it rolling. Here's my comment. Yes, they lowered their seed, but every team still has a chance to play for the title in basketball that's in the tournament. They lowered Florida State's seed and did not give them a chance to play for it. That's the problem.
I agree with that. 100%.
Thanks, Dalpush. Yeah, hop off, hit the like button if you can. We appreciate it. Jeff Levy wasn't that great against Kansas, 100%. Jeff Levy wasn't that bad against OSU.
I don't know. Appreciate it, Blake, so much.
Thanks, Blake from Utah. All of this shows that the committee is hyping, and I absolutely
Wait, how did you
agree
read
with
that
that
again,
word.
Jeremy? Read that again.
So Sorry, it's hypocritical.
Okay.
I thought it said hypothetical, which I 100%. They keep throwing hypothetical things. So it says all of this shows that they're hypocritical. I need my vision checked because OSU got in with Cardell freaking Jones and won the thing. We talked about this earlier on a video, Blake. Now, what people are going to say, Blake, I 100% agree with you, Blake. What people are going to say is, yeah, but Cardell Jones threw for like 350. This Florida State quarterback's awful. You can't. It was a backup
Jeremy, Cardell Jones.
I agree with you, Blake.
They beat Wisconsin 59-0 in the Big Ten championship.
Agreed.
Not 16-6, bro.
Well, Florida State went to Florida in the swamp, which isn't an easy place to play, and won.
Yeah, I just don't know. And the biggest problem I have is like the committee, like in the New Year's Six Bowl, they had that Ole Miss win over LSU as a big win, but they didn't really count that Florida State win over LSU as a big win.
Yes,
you could 100% say the only reason Florida State got left out was because their quarterback was injured. That's it. That's it. Why don't they come out and say that? Why did they ever come out and say that's the reason they didn't pick him? No.
I agree, Jay. And Cardell Jones, Sooner Surge, that room was loaded. Cardell Jones didn't do much after that season.
He was third string, right?
Yeah, and didn't do much.
No.
He had 2 great games in a row. Florida T, I think you mean Florida State. Yeah, Florida absolutely shouldn't. But and Kirby Smart absolutely thinks they should be in it. And they have a good argument.
He can say that, but I know deep down he was thinking there's no way we're getting in.
They have a good argument. They're one of the 4 best teams.
He didn't think they were getting in. He knew it.
Sooner fan, I don't know. But,
Kirby Smart needs to be figuring out how to beat Alabama. He can't beat him in the SEC.
Hey, Sooner fan, I don't know about that, but here's what I do know. If it was Davis Bevel and OU beat Texas last year with Davis Bevel, if they beat Texas, let's just say 17-6 with Davis Bevel, people would be saying how great OU's defense is and how it's a national championship defense. I'm just saying.
Jason, I 100% think if Florida State would have killed Louisville, they would have been in. If that quarterback would have looked good and they would have won handily, I think they get in.
Hey, I do have a question. Did anyone see Bama's reaction to getting in today?
No, they already knew they were getting in. Yeah, they knew. Hey, and I want to say this.
This is what Nick Saban did. Nick Saban.
Hey, I want to say this. ESPN, they come on there and act like they don't know who's already in. They know. It's ridiculous. They already know. Stupid.
And Kirk Herbstreit, I've liked Kirk Herbstreit. And, hey, Hunter, Florida State was undefeated in SEC play, too, just so you know. Florida State beat every SEC team they played this year and didn't lose a game. But I just think that, yeah, Michigan didn't want a part of Bama. It was for sure. But I just think that whatever I was going with.
You were saying Bama, Kirk Herbstreit.
Kirk Herbstreit. He speaks out both sides of his mouth, depending on who he wants in there. It's ridiculous.
Jeremy, they want to get the best. It's all about them. It's about the matchups. It's not about the best teams. It's about the matchups they want.
Hey, I'm going to have to call Hunter out. Hunter's calling wow out of me. Guys, Hunter thinks that Florida State didn't 100% deserve to be in it. So I just don't know how you can think that. They did everything they were supposed to do.
Hey, I agree with 405 boy. I think Michigan, and I think I could see that happening. Michigan, I think, could be the best team in the country right now.
Jay, there's 6 teams that could be the best team.
16 teams?
There's 6 teams that could be the best team in football right now. You're not going to know who they are because 2 of them aren't going to get a play for it.
What's up, Trap House?
What up, Trap
Party
House?
For the party. I'm going to have to run it back. Boomer. That's right. We're just talking about the committee a little, mostly.
Do you know any of the committee members, Jay?
I could care less who the committee members are. I don't need to know them because I know they sit in their room and watch games and they pick who they think should be in.
Hey, so Jet, you agree that Florida State did not deserve to be in it? You're probably one of 2 people, you and Hunter, because I think everyone else would agree that they deserved it. I mean, come on. They deserve it. I'm not saying they're the 4 best teams.
You're saying they deserve to get in, though.
Jet's saying they don't deserve it.
Well, that's his opinion. I mean, if he wants to say that,
I agree. But
Dalpo says,
and William, I don't recognize your name, but appreciate you being on here and welcome to the Sooner Surge Double Trouble. It's your first time. Glad to have you. I agree. The computers are better.
Hey, I saw.
You know why? The computers don't do eye test.
D-Max, I agree with you. I'm picking Texas to win the whole thing right now. I think they're going to win it all. And you're going to hear all the Texas I'm back stuff like crazy if they do. It's going to be ridiculous.
Hunter, it looks like everyone's saying 100% except you and Jet. So you and Jet can be the minority on this opinion, I guess. But what do you mean they do, Germ? But they do, Germ. They do. They look at eye test, which is wrong.
Hey, I would love Washington to win the whole thing. That's who I'm rooting for, too.
I will say this. Washington's coach, I do love. Did you hear him after that game?
Oh, I love Washington.
They have a great culture at Washington.
And I would almost say that Texas's toughest game is going to be the semifinal, Washington. Because of their secondary, whoever put the secondary in here, the secondary for Texas is their weak spot. And I think Washington can get a lot of open receivers down the field on them.
Computers can't have an eye test. They're not human, bud. Hey,
here you go, Jeremy. I know you're all over this one.
Wait, Jay. Go back to the Jet one. What Jet was saying is why have a playoff if it's not about the 4 best teams? Hey, unfortunately, Jet, it's still not the 4 best teams because Georgia has an argument.
But nobody can say who those 13 people. Listen, everybody on this chat right now, we're going to have different opinions of who the 4 best teams are. So are the 13 people in the committee. So we'll never get the 4 best teams. They can never agree on the 4 best teams. It might be the 4 best matchups.
I agree. They shouldn't have one.
It might be the 4 best matchups.
If you win your conference, you should be in all conferences.
No.
At least, how many conferences are there, Jay? Just do it. That's what all other sports do.
I mean, when it goes to 12, we won't have this issue anymore. So, but hey, I'll say this. I said it earlier today. Thank God OU's leaving the Big 12 because the SEC bias is real, guys. And next year, SEC Big 10, out of the 12 teams, you're going to have a whole heck of a lot of number from the SEC and the Big 10. You better be glad you're in the SEC, Sooner fans, because if you're in the Big 12, they're getting maybe that one team. That's it. And
Castiglione's not on the committee, right?
No.
He has been in the past, I believe. Slapnuts RC, welcome to the show. Appreciate you being on here. Someone just
hey, make sure if you're on here and you're not subscribed, hit the button, please. That'd be great.
Go subscribe, please.
We do this every night.
Jay, I've said this too. The best team rarely wins the NCAA tournament. Rarely.
True. It's different in football, though.
Even in NFL,
it's easier to have upsets in basketball.
NFL, the best team doesn't always win.
Yeah, but it's more times than not in NFL, the best team win.
I can name several where the best team didn't win.
Give me one.
Really?
Yeah, go.
Well, Trent Dilfer's team, Brad Johnson's team, Rich Gannon's team, those teams were awful.
They're not awful, but yeah, you had to go way back.
Were the Eagles better than the Patriots that one year? Yeah, the problem is no one cares about 13 like they do number 5. That's the thing.
Yeah, but Heather, the reason is because of that non-power 5, they're going to get a team every year. So
Brian,
got to get used to that.
I absolutely agree that McCullough, in my opinion, McCullough and Kanik should both move positions. McCullough's got to go to DN. He could be the next Thibodeau. That's what I've been saying for weeks. The next Thibodeau. And then, Jay, you have Kanik should move to Cheetah.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
The Eagles did go 13-3. You're right that year. Yeah, I agree. I thought of that with Nick Foles. And their coach was elite that year.
If 2024 OU goes 10-2 or better than SC, they're in. 100% agree. Hey, this year, they would have had 4 teams get in. Or 5. Is it 5?
Hey,
5.
Yeah, Jay, Heather's right.
No, 4,
it won't be the best 12 because it's going to be a group of 5 team that gets in when they shouldn't, I guess.
Yeah, but you get the best teams are in the playoff at that.
No, because you're going to have a group of 5 that may be worse than a 3rd or 4th place SEC or 5th place SEC.
Yeah, but I don't have a problem with the way they're doing the 12. Do you?
I think it should be 16. Murphy, he does look lost. That's why he needs to move to Cheetah.
He's young. He's young.
Agrees, young, but he's also in the wrong position, I think. Texas beats FSU by 50. It doesn't matter, sports metric guy. I'm not going to agree with that because, first off, Texas couldn't score 50 on Florida State's defense. That's an absurd thing to think Texas is going to hang 50 on Florida State. Even if Florida State got shut out, they're not allowing 50 points.
That's hey, I'm going to do my last trivia for the night.
Do it.
Last trivia of the night. Okay, this is pretty simple. Sooner fan got the first one. You want to get this point? We're keeping track all of December for a prize at the end of the month. Okay. Second trivia is how many times has OU played in the Alamo Dome? Pretty simple question, I think. How many times has OU played in the Alamo Dome? And can you name the times? You gotta be. You can't just guess. I want to know when.
Hey Jay.
Damon got it with 2. Okay, Damon, you're correct. Now tell me when the 2 were. Damon's going to get it if he can tell me when the 2 were.
Hey, Jay.
Richard's saying you're wrong on something.
Wrong on what, Richard? Tell us what we're wrong on, please. Jay, maybe it wasn't 2, Richard's saying. Maybe it wasn't. Jay, Clark Davis was right. Texas struggled most of the year against Big 12 teams.
Yes, it was. Did Damon respond to my question or not? I haven't seen it, but the answer's in there. Sooner fans said it. Missouri Big 12 title game was the other time other than the Alamo Bowl. Yeah, Damon, 2021's one. Correct.
Hey, go back to David.
Good job,
Mead.
guys.
David Mead. David Mead, I don't recognize your name. So if you're a new subscriber, thank you very much. Appreciate you being on here. We do this nightly at 9:30. But, yeah, Bama and UT have losses and many close wins, and they're in. Who has Michigan played? Undefeated FSU doesn't get in. I agree. And the fact that Michigan blatantly cheats and doesn't get in trouble, ethically wrong, so many ethically wrong ones. And I don't like Missouri, but I kind of like their coach. Did you see what he did today with Reese Davis?
Oh, that was hilarious. Loved it.
Acting like he had a phone call from Connor Stallion. That guy's hilarious.
Hey, they're arguing about this game here. It was 2007 against Missouri in the Big 12 championship. It was in Alamo Dome. Blake, you might be thinking of another year was at Arrowhead.
Hey, Jack, you know where you're wrong, bud? Where you're wrong is you might say you deserve to win the lottery, but it won't happen. But you still get a chance if you get a ticket. Am I right? Do you still get a chance to get it? Is there a chance you can win it? There's no chance Florida State can win the title. It's been stripped from them, guys. You can't compare a lottery when you actually have a chance. That doesn't make sense. Florida State got it stripped from them. That doesn't.
When are you going to be over this Florida State drama?
I'm over it. I don't understand how people can say that they don't deserve the chance to play for the title.
Hey,
when they were undefeated in the Power 5 conference.
Trap House, I looked at tickets tonight too. They are very decent. It's a good game to go to if you can get down there. I agree.
What's the difference in taping the game? What's the difference in taping the game, Jay?
What's that?
Teague says, haven't jumped in all the Michigan stuff, but what's the difference in taping the game?
The difference is they're paying somebody's ticket to go watch the game on the side. It's totally different. It's totally different.
So, slap nuts, you don't think Georgia's one of the best teams? Because I would take Georgia right now over Washington and Texas.
Jeremy, the 4 best teams made it, in my opinion, too.
Okay. Who would you take in a matchup right now?
On who?
Georgia and Texas.
Texas.
Who would you guys take, guys? Georgia, Texas, and Georgia, Washington.
They're all going to say Georgia because they're OU fans, too. I'm going to say Texas.
I'm saying Georgia, Washington. Jay,
I don't know on that.
You can't prove who the best teams are unless they play each other.
You can't prove it. I agree, but I think they did pretty good on the 4 best.
The fact that some people are saying Georgia 10 plus proves the point.
You're on here.
Prove it.
You're on here saying Bama should get in over Texas, Jeremy. That's moronic.
Okay, it's an opinion.
Okay, everyone.
We all made Jay. Where I can agree with you, Hunter, and everyone on here. Bama, Texas, they have arguments, but they don't deserve it as much as Florida State. The deserving part is what I don't like.
I agree. Florida State was deserving and should have been in. But you're kidding yourself if you think they were going to win in the playoff with that quarterback.
You don't know.
Johnny says, watch them beat Georgia. That would be kind of funny.
No, because people would make excuses.
Heather has a point.
Heather has a point that the ACC did not want to have the 12-team playoff. How does Texas deserve it more than Florida State?
This is a Texas fan, though, Jeremy.
Sports Master guy has to be a Texas fan.
It is. Yeah, I know. But is he saying they deserve it but more than who?
Are you saying they deserve it more than Florida State?
I think he's saying more than Bama.
Well, okay, but don't say over Florida State. That's absurd.
What they basically said today, it does not matter if you win all your games.
It doesn't.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't even matter who you beat.
It's not going to matter. It's not going to matter if there's an SEC team that you're going against. You're not getting in. And thank God OU's moving the SEC. Bama, he says yes. I think he's saying Bama.
Maybe Bama. Okay. I thought.
Yeah, I think Sooner fan, I think that's kind of weird, too. Get in the dome. Golly, I mean, weather this time of year.
Jay, do you remember a backup quarterback by the name of, I don't know, Trevor Knight against a really good Alabama team? How much had Trevor Knight played before that bowl game, Jay?
He played some.
How good was he?
He had a great game.
How good was he before that game, guys?
He wasn't that great in general.
How good was he before the game, Jay? Do you know his stats?
I don't, Jeremy. I don't know him off the top of my head. Do you?
Okay, the point is
I don't understand what you're getting at.
A backup quarterback should still have the opportunity when his team's undefeated. I agree. It's like the Mafia picked the Big 12. But look,
I'm going to go back to Jimmy's question. I think DG goes to the portal. If I had to pick right now, I think he makes more money in the portal.
Did he get the trivia question? Yes, right?
Who's that?
Dalpo's asked if Damon got the trivia question.
Damon was correct with 2. Sooner fan was right with where it was. So I may give Sooner fan a half point and Damon 1 point. I'll look at the chat after it's over and narrow it down. But
Blake Bell beat OSU, and then Trevor Knight beats Bama. Yeah, TCU last year. David, you're right. No one thought they were going to beat Michigan. Nobody.
Well, a lot of people thought TCU shouldn't be in there.
Hey, look, I apologize if I'm coming across, viewers, as like I'm ripping you. Look, I'm just fired up because, the ethical
I can vouch. Jeremy's been fired up for a day and a half.
I've been way nicer to you guys than I have to Hunter and Jay. But,
yeah, for sure.
Listen, it's ethically wrong. I'll probably drop it after tonight.
I hope
tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to be all talking portal. Listen, I'll tell it like it is. That's what I do, and I do appreciate every one of you guys on here. It means a lot that we can come on and talk and not hurt feelings, because I don't think anyone's getting their feelings hurt on here. And if you are, I apologize. But listen, Sooner fan, we do want to recognize your comments, and a big shout out to Hunter for that. Hunter's one of the main reasons we can get to all these comments that are coming in. So we do appreciate Hunter and what he does on here. But you guys keep the comments coming. We appreciate it. We'll do this every night. Tomorrow, we'll be talking portal, because I'm sure some Sooners are going to be hitting it tomorrow. And appreciate Josh for the super, Crystal for the 2 supers. We have Tanya for a super, Blake Mangum for a super. I hope I haven't missed anyone. But again, thank you guys, and thank you all for subscribing and following our channel. We do appreciate it. I'm glad that we can talk civilized, that we can give our opinions and respectfully disagree, and maybe sometimes I disrespectfully disagree, but that's who I am. If I come across the wrong way, then I apologize. But appreciate all you guys. Thanks for the new viewers who are on here. We hope to see you guys again next week. Tomorrow. Blake, Oklahoma for a wrestling tournament, huh? Oh, it's in Enid. I was going to say, if it's near us, let's get together for lunch. But in Enid. I won't be in Enid. Sorry. But appreciate all you guys. It's always fun. Like 405 boy says, beat Arizona. Till next time. Boomer.
Sooner.